Boker Tov, everyone. Good morning. Chazak Baruch for making it happen. So we are starting here in the Chelek Yoredea, the Shemshon again, Siman Aleph. A very interesting question, which actually has to do with the parasha that we read this past week. Parashat Re'eh has the laws of kashrut in the parasha, and we know for an animal it needs two signs: Ma'ale Gera, that it chews its cud, and Mafrise Parsa, that has split hooves. Split hooves are all the way through split hooves. Now, there is also a concept of Mesorah, tradition, that we know that Bnei Israel, for instance, let's say a cow. We know in Bnei Israel that looks like a cow, that has the simanim, we've always been eating it all the years. So there was an animal called the zebu, Z-E-B-U, that they found in, I think, southern Argentina, that looks like a cow, but it had a hump on its back. And it had the signs. It had the Ma'ale Gera and Mafrise Parsa, split hooves, chews its cud. And they brought it into the market, but then they stopped because it was not the Mesorah. We didn't have a tradition to eat such an animal, even though it had the simanim. So there's a discussion as far as the Mesorah also plays a role. Does it mean it's 100% asur? Is it allowed? They stayed away from it. That's the extent that I want to talk about the zibu. But here in the first siman of Yoredea, the Rabbi Shalom Asas, which also quotes Rav Shlomo Amar, who Shlomo Amar did a lot of research on this animal. This animal is an Eyal Australi. So an Ayil is a ram. That's fine, kosher, on the Mizbeach, etc. An Eyal, you've heard of the name, people, Israelis, Eyal. Eyal is a male deer. Now, a male deer, there's different types, and there's one that they brought in 20 years ago from Australia. They call it the red deer or the Australian deer, male deer, big antlers, etc. And it had the simanim. So we know there's deers that are kosher. And this had split hooves and chews its cud, and it was brought into the market, and people that were shechting it. When Rav Shlomo Amar heard of a new animal, looked into it, said it's not kosher. So there's the question: what do you mean not kosher? It has the simanim. And we had like in it wasn't on the mizbeach, but they were eating deer. Why is this one different? So he quotes the Gemara that goes as follows. The Gemara Masechet Chulin Daf Nun Tet Amud Aleph says as follows: imagine a person, you're in the forest, or you're in the jungle, or you're in the desert, and you're hungry. You see an animal, you catch an animal, and let's say you're a trained shochet. Now you look at a split hooves. Baruch Hashem. How do I know if it has chews its cud? Chews its cud is that it has actually 4 stomachs. It eats and then it regurgitates, and you see its mouth always chewing. Like cows always chewing. All the kosher animals. But how do I know? I don't know. I'm not an expert at that. But I see a split hooves, and I know how to do shechita. The Gemara says as follows: an animal that has no front teeth, you know it's a kosher animal. If an animal has no front teeth, that's a siman, it's kosher animal. Every animal has back teeth, molars on the top and the bottom. And kosher animals have teeth in the bottom. When you get the head, B'ezrat Hashem soon for Rosh Hashanah, you'll see it has bottom teeth, but no front teeth. No front teeth. It might have a front bone, but no front teeth. So, and you see like a soos, a cow has front teeth. A donkey has front teeth. A human being has front teeth. We can't eat a human being. So the Gemara asks a question over there. A camel has chews its cud, does not have split hooves, so that's already not kosher, but it has no front teeth. To the Gemara, look at a camel, it has no front teeth. Gemara answers, it has nivim. Niv is canines, right? Niv, these ones. So it has canines. And because it has canines, that's considered like it has front teeth. That's what the Gemara answers. So, looking at this animal of this type of deer, it had canines. It had canines also, this type of deer that they brought in from Australia. And therefore, Shlomo Amar said, when it says Ma'ale Gera, choose its cud, part of Ma'ale Gera, a sign of it is that it has no front teeth at all, and this has canines like the camel does, and therefore it's not kosher. He went to Rabbi Shalom Asas, brings down this whole dialogue. He says, Rabbi Shalom Amar sat with me in my house, and etc. went through it. And then Rav Avad Yosef agrees, or Vazner, all the Gdolim agreed that this type of tzvi is not kosher. And he says also when they looked into it as far as scientifically, this type of deer is in a different category than all the other type of deer, and actually they can't mate, they can't have children. Obviously you take a pig and a cow, it's not going to have a child, right? So, but you would assume different types of deers have different types of deer. This deer, even though it looks like a deer, has split hooves, chooses cud, but it has these teeth, and therefore it's a deer that can't mate with regular deer, only with its kind. And to end, a similar thing, 250 years ago, there was a certain pig that was found that, pigs have split hooves, but does not chew its cud. They found, what? No, not in Australia. No, that's not Australia. But a pig, I think in Europe area, or maybe, so they found a pig that has split hooves and chews its cud. And they said, in the time of Mashiach, the pig is going to be kosher. They said, well, maybe it's time of Mashiach, maybe this is it. And they went to the Malbim. The Malbim, he lived in Europe, and he said, check the front teeth. And it had canines. He said, it's not kosher. So, as well, so if this comes to your table, it probably won't, but just to know, just to learn about a little kashrut, I found an unbelievable sugya over here. The red deer, or the Australian deer, is not kosher. Okay, that's that for today. Mincha at 6:10. Have a good day, everyone.